Hi everyone. Today I started a Zoom meeting where I want to discuss the options for purification of our water, our drinking water. And then actually I'm speaking about drinking water that is already drinkable, but that could be improved within the quality of the water. It was a question that was asked in a group, like what are the options for purifying our water? And there were some options coming up from several people. And I decided that it would be cool to do a Zoom meeting about this so that we can come together and speak the options. Unfortunately, no one is here, so I just continue with the Zoom on my own and I discuss the options that I know and or have experience with. So then at least there is something here within this purification of water that I find cool. Well, why I find it important is because 70% of our body exists from water. And when I speak about we and the group, I mean us here that walk together as the Estonians. That is a group walking together, finding solutions together as what is best for all. So our starting point is bringing ourselves back to living principles that are best for ourselves as best for all life. And that is a whole process in itself. Many links are and courses are findable about this. So from here I will continue. And the water is a cool point anyway, because this process that I speak about, it's actually about learning to direct ourselves, or myself in this case, in my case, of course, within directing myself within thoughts, feelings, and emotions coming up. Also speaking about emotions and feelings as in reactions, and reactions within ourselves. Reactions within ourselves are stirring our water, so to speak. So one big influence on our well-being and on our own inner water balance, or let's say water quality, is to stabilize myself within everything that comes up within my mind, and learning to how to direct myself. So that is the process point, the emotional feeling support. That are the courses about. I will place a link under this Zoom. But I also like to support our physical body, or my physical body, and my well-being with practical physical solutions, because the physical, my physical, is my reference point. So when I stabilize my physical as much as I can, the physical is more able to support me, my being in my process. And when I support me, myself, within stabilizing within my mind and everything that comes up, and directing myself to what is best for myself, as best for all, or all involved, then my physical body will have support from this. So it's interacting. So I like to support both, and then working this together. Because if I don't do that, and for example, my body is getting out of balance a lot because, for example, not having healthy food, but also when the water is maybe not of good quality, then I actually have more work to do, or it's my body is working against myself in a way that maybe could be improved. So I like the practical support. It's also what I'm educated in the natural medicine here. I'm from the Netherlands, living in the Netherlands. So I really like that part, and I have investigated it a lot. So this bringing together here. Okay, let's start with the practical aspect of purification of the drinking water. So I live in the Netherlands. We could say it's quite okay, our drinking water, but it's more or less from what perspective we are looking at it. So it is quite hygienic. The quality is quite okay, so it don't taste like chlor, is that a word in English? Chloride, chlor in Dutch, chloride in English. It doesn't taste like that, and the quality differs a bit in taste from the area where we live in. So some have more calcium in it, some less. So it's hard or soft water, but the quality is everywhere good, drinkable. Then from another perspective, you can look at how is it with intoxications, like many say about frequencies. So everything has a frequency that may influence the water. How about that? Because we have a lot of influences from frequencies around us, from all our, they call it electric smoke. That's an option. And then we say, well, there is a measurement that is allowed, what can be within the water, what not. But there can be very small, like, for example, parts of fluoride. Is it still in there or not? Or medication or hormonal, very, very small amounts that maybe are not measurable or under the line for measurable as toxic. And so is it still here in the water? So that are all options that we can work with. And then, of course, it depends on per individual, sometimes the English, sorry for that. It's not my mother language. Sometimes I stumble a bit about it. But it's different per, let's say, person. It's an easier word for me. Different per person what we can have. So do we have a stable constitution, physical constitution? Then we can adapt more. Are we very much out of balance, or maybe just not lucky because what we get from birth with genetics? Then we should look more after what we bring into our body. And so everyone has their balance in it that is optimum or could be optimum. So here to not compare from, oh, I can have everything, so I'm fine, so it's nonsense about the water, and the others say, oh, but I'm so sensitive, so all the water is pure like shit and it must be different, because there are also very many individual differences in this. So not to compare this, but just to place all the options together so that we can actually choose from the options that are here. I don't say they're all best, but from what is here, to support ourselves in our body at the optimum way. The thing that I have chosen for purification for my water, after investigating it, and I think it's now about 15 years that I have it, is, how do they call it? Because I have it from a Dutch site. It's called Gaia Aqua. And they call it, let me find the word. Yeah. They call it water vitalizer. So what they do with it is that you want to vitalize the water. And the starting point is the water, how it comes from the mountains. And they measure the Bovis measurements in it. They call it bovis. I don't know if that is an English word as well. And what they say is there the bovis level is very high, very alive, as they describe it. And when it's finally in our tubes, in our homes, or even in the bottles, then this bovis level is very low, almost to death. I found that an interesting thing. I was also having some doubts about it because what do they mean with vitalizing? Is it not energizing? I don't like to energize it, to like how we do with thoughts, with feelings, emotions, like to energize it in a way of more positive, for example. But vitalize is how it is the frequency within our optimum level as a living being. And because they take the measurement of how it is from the mountains, like how lively it is, full of life, and trying to reproduce that, then from my common sense, I think, okay, then we speak about frequency in and as life. So how full of life, how lively the water is directly from Earth, optimum, and how we can reproduce that within our tube. I also chose this option because it is within my budget, so it's within my reach. And I've seen one time on television, for example, they had it was fantastic. They had a whole I don't know what it was, thingy on their tube and everything. And it even when you had a tomato and it was toxicated with against insects, things like that. You put it in the water, then that would go out of it and you eat it, and the tomato was more sweet because all the toxics were getting out of it. Well, that looked fantastic, but it was really expensive, like 5,000 euro or maybe more, 10,000, and that's not within my budget. And this is here you can choose from 200 to 500, and when you put it on the whole tube in your whole house, it's up to 1,200, 1,500, and I choose for the 500 on my drinking tube. They have two kinds of it. I also choose this because I found it a common sense in that they're not filtering anything, but they are hiring up this bovis value level by swirling the water, swirling. So then you bring it up, and they have one where they have this swirling to bring up the bovis level, and together with a crystal. That had my doubt again. Isn't that energizing it instead of vitalizing? But it is still a stone, so the bovis level goes up. So I choose that one on my tube. Then how it's being said, and what I see also, is that, so it's not filtering, but it is through this also the molecules are a bit changing. So for example, the calcium, when you have this in your water, when you cook water, you found these pieces. When it falls down, they're only like this and very little. So only with this swirling and the crystal, where this bovis level goes up, they change somehow the atom, the water becomes more alive, it's not filtering anything, but it's still changing, looks like the molecules. And that I find common sense to me. So this is what I choose, and as far as I see at this moment, it's still the best option that I can choose out for me within my budget. I am satisfied with it. It tastes better. It feels better. I don't know if it's, it's not, for me, things like that are not like a miracle because it's still our drinking water. I find our drinking water also still drying out. So my hands are really dry. I've one time been in South Africa for a month. It was really on the farm. It was the Destiny farm, but there the water in the tubes was a bit brown. And within 3 days, my hands were not getting dry anymore. It was really soft. So our drinking water is drying out, I find. That's what I don't like about it. And I have this on my tube from drinking water, and maybe it was too expensive for me to put it on the whole water tubes in the house. Maybe one time I take this more less advanced thing on the shower tube with that's only around €200, so that on my shower I also have this more lively water. I think that's better a bit. Although I do not shower every day, but I like it. I still don't like it so much. It's drying out and everything. So maybe that's another step for me to take. I would consider that. And then the easier one would only the swirl and not the crystal, so the bovis level is like halfway. So that's actually the option that I wanted to share. I have seen that others have some more options, but I cannot speak about that because I did not really see what it was. But I have some other options to share that I have some experience with as well. That is available here in the Netherlands. That's quite easy also. That are filter systems. One are I don't name brands because I'm not quite sure if I can public that, but that's a filter system. One is really, the filtering is quite well. So I used it at work for a longer time because I didn't trust the tubes in the end. They were very old, so they could be with copper or load, things like that. Plumb, I think. So it worked very well with filtering that. Then it also filtered a lot of calcium out of it. And then what I did see is that the pH level did lower a bit. And then I was having my doubt, if we drink that every day, you don't want your pH level too low, like you want it average in the middle or a bit basic, but not like lowering. Because we all already easily go towards pH level down a bit, like becoming acid. And we don't want to become too much acid, so you want your water in the middle or a bit basic. So, but it is perfect, for example, for your electric coffee apparatus or cooking boiling water. And the taste, for some situations it could be quite helpful. And then we had a very nice bigger filter system that filtered quite well, and then it brought up this pH balance again through stones, mainly through stones, I think. And yeah, I cannot really explain it in English, but with several easy things, they brought it up again. So then you have the filtering and the pH level bringing up again a bit. So then it was, I also like that system, but there it's still for a long time standing still. So it's not doing anything with this vitalizing for the waters. So I still prefer to have it on the tube. You don't need to clean, you don't need to, it's from silver, by the way. So it's still there. The crystal is inside. Oh, it would be cool if I would have, I can show you. I will walk away for a moment and show it. So, yeah, that are actually the 3 options that I have experience with. I think that is a bit about it for me about the water. I will bring it on pause for a moment and show it. Then you have a visible thingy. That could be nice as well. Okay, I'll be back soon. Okay, I'm back. And let's see, this is it. So we put it like this on the tube. Then here the swirl goes in, and this is my normal from the tube that you can put on again. So this is it actually. You can even place your tube for the plants on it for outside if you want to tube a bit. So then the plants also have less calcium. I think that is good for them. It's sometimes, you know, when you have to add some water, well, we still do it with drinking water. That's another discussion because it needs to be, I like to go to collecting rain much more, but I, at this moment, need to add drinking water in warm summer times. But this is it. Wait. Okay, I'm a bit chaotic in this. Here is the swirl, and inside there's also this crystal, and here is the tube. And there's the normal water. If you choose the other one, that with less bovis that I spoke about, that I maybe want to buy for on the shower, then it is a bit different, and you have this white, not a normal like you get from the tube, but only this white like you get from the garden tube. And when you want to bring it, like for example, you go somewhere and I don't trust it there, I want my own thingy, whatever, you can put this on it and you fill it up here, and here your water comes down. Well, you see, it's both silver. This I didn't use, and so it's shiny silver. This I used a lot, so it's a bit dark silver, but it's still silver, and I can make it shine, but I didn't do that. Okay, so this is my thingy. I like that a lot. Okay, maybe another time we can discuss other options. Maybe someone to add options or ask questions about it. I do not know how it is in other countries. Perhaps this mechanism is also findable there. And I guess in Europe, it's possible to get it from the Dutch side. Well, there's a lot to speak about water as well, in general, in totality, but let's keep it to this because it's a kind of YouTube, but then on Zoom. Anyway, I enjoyed to speak about it. Like I said, I enjoyed to speak about these practical things. And so thank you for watching. I hope it has brought something and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.